So it's Sunday, we're off work, and we're not going to work on Goldilocks today. We're actually going to spin the camera around. And today we're going to focus on Rapunzel. This is my 2007 C6 Z06. This is another car that I love dearly. It's got about 44,000 miles on it. Heads, cam, headers, whole 9 yards. Makes about 620 wheel. And what we're going to focus on today is getting some fog lights that don't suck, because the stock ones are pretty useless. Thanks to the magic of the internet and 3D printing, I was able to get these from a guy that I saw on YouTube, actually. A friend of mine, Brett Stewart, who I know strictly through the Corvette forum, he showed me the video, and I really liked the idea. And basically what it's going to do is we're going to replace the factory fog lights that are terrible with these really cool Baja Designs Squadron Sport light pods. This is a 3D printed housing that mounts right in the factory location. So first step is we're going to get the car up on jack stands in the nose and remove the front wheels and get these installed. Step one, of course, is put the car up on jack stands, and we're going to remove this wheel. Use my handy dandy impact gun. Don't come for me in the comments. I know it's Ryobi and it's not Milwaukee, but this thing is awesome and it does the job. So we'll get this wheel off and go from there. Sidebar time. So now that I have the front wheels off, you can see obviously I have aggressive brake pads, so I have tons of brake dust. This is Wheelie Clean 50/50 dilution from Duracoating Technology. This is the best wheel cleaner on the planet. Check this out. I'm going to do this in real time, not speeding it up or anything. Haven't done any prep to these wheels. In fact, this is a fresh spray bottle, brand new. So we're going to get it pumped. Spray a little bit on there. Not going to go crazy. Just going to do the bottom half here. Okay. I'm going to let that dwell for a minute. We're going to agitate it with this little wheel brush. I'm not doing any kind of crazy scraping, nothing out of the ordinary, just a basic cleaning job. This is honestly the best wheel cleaner I have ever used. I found out about them from their tire coating. I used it on my old wheels on my C5 before the accident, and no kidding, I applied that stuff and was able to drive that car for a year before I had to put any sort of tire shine on it or anything. I never did a second application. Drove it for a year like that. So you can see all I've done, a little bit of agitation, not scrubbing very hard at all. This is just a brand new cheapy tire brush from Amazon. I think the whole kit was like 12 bucks. I'll even do this spoke too. I don't think I sprayed it, but we're gonna do it. And then check this out. Put on the hose. Seriously, eats that brake dust alive. If I do a little more effort and try to make it actually clean, you'll be able to see a massive, massive difference. But even that, again, that's real time. That's clean, man. Look at the side that's not done. Look at the side that is. So this is awesome stuff. If you've never heard of it, you should buy it. Duracoating Technology is not sponsored, not paid. I paid my own real money for it, but it's a product I believe in. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming. So the first step is removing this inner fender liner here. You've got some Torx screws that go along the top and a couple of push pin fasteners here. And I believe on the underside, if we crawl under there, yeah, there's a handful of, I believe those are 7mm bolts. We'll get all that out and remove it. Side note, another meme tool, but this is the little Icon Flex Ratchet driver kit thing. This thing has saved my butt multiple times. Another tool that I have that is just worth its weight in gold. So let's get this removed and we'll be right back. Okay, we got all the bolts out on the bottom. There was also a 10mm nut that was one more spot, so I had to get a second socket. Now we've got to get these clips out. And I am a sucker for a really good tool. So this is also from Harbor Freight. This is a Pittsburgh like clip remover. So literally all you do, you grab this guy and then pow. Comes right out. Super awesome. So we'll do that. Boom, boom, boom. Out we go. Sweet. And then this will come off and we'll see what we're working with. Now that that's out of the way, Under here, you have your connector for the fog light bulb, which we'll just twist and pull the bulb out because we will not be reusing that sucker. And I don't know if I can do that one-handed, but the bulb comes out, and you'll notice that there's two pins, like spots for pins up there, and then there's 3 7mm bolts that hold along the bottom. So we'll get those removed, and you'll see how that comes right out. Now that those 3 little guys are out, I pulled the whole fog light assembly out from the back, and you can see how it works. Fits right on into the bumper here, and we'll pull the bulb and harness through. Now there's an extension harness that gets clipped to this once we get this bulb out to make it where you don't have to cut any wiring for this really cool kit. So we're going to show you that next. So next step, again, this is a little adapter harness. I've already got it plugged into the factory fog light spot. Took the factory halogen bulb out. I've lined it up purple to red, black to black, and same on this side. So it comes with a nice weather pack connector. I've got to put that in because apparently not every C6 is like this. So you just have to make sure that they're matched up so they don't put this terminated on there. And obviously this will plug into the new light. So we'll get that done and we'll come back. Okay, so again, got that connector plugged in. Nice quality stuff. Now we'll plug you in here, and again, white to red, black to black. Can I do this one-handed? I don't know. We're certainly going to try. Holy cow, not my best work. Nice view of my carbon fiber splitter there from Extreme Online Store. Alright, hang on. I'm not good at this. Pause. Okay, unpause. Holy cow, that was a lot more difficult to click together than I thought. But now it's in there, so we're going to key on and turn on the fog lights and see what we got. Alright, key on. Cool look at my carbon fiber steering wheel. And we're going to twist. Fog light should be on. Oh man, I already see the yellow. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this. That is super bright. I don't think this does it any justice. But we're going to get it installed and see the difference between this and this terribly inefficient, not very bright halogen piece of garbage. So these install from the back. These pins located on the top, and then these go into the 3 factory holes. So let's see what we got. Stock housing, replacement. You can kind of see how that works. Super cool. What we're going to do is come under the car from behind here, and you can see it. These line up with the pins, and we're going to put it in. So there we have it. It's installed. I think it looks really killer. Gives the car a very aggressive, like Le Mans kind of look to it. I'm really loving it. And again, it bolts in using all the factory hardware. So you can see the pins locate on the bumper cover. 3 little 7mm there, and then he was thoughtful and included 2 zip ties, so I just tied them up to the factory harness so it's out of the way. Now we're going to put the splash shield back, bolt it in, put the wheel on, drop it, and here we go. This should go without saying, but the passenger side is going to be the exact same process, so I'm going to skip the install, and we're going to see what it looks like when both of the lights are installed. Be back in a few minutes. So, small side note time. This is what they were talking about in the instructions. Remember, these cars are, 2006, 2026. I mean, these are 20 years old, 21 years old. Some are obviously younger, but these are not new cars. And people do things. So, on my passenger side, somebody has already burnt this up, and they replaced it with an aftermarket connector. So, you need to go back and look and see. So, I have this one is the purple. So this is the black. So what we're going to do, so we don't wire these incorrectly, we're going to put a piece of black electrical tape on this one right here. So we know that this is the ground. But be aware of that. That's what they're talking about there. Now that I have that flagged, I know that this one is the ground when I wire up the rest of the connector. And whoever did this didn't even bother heat shrinking the butt connectors that they used. So we're going to clean this up. I have some conduit like that, so we're going to clean this up and make it look a little bit prettier and a little more factory. And man, they left a lot of wire on that they really didn't need to, but we're not going to deal with that today because we are on limited time too. That's better. Like I said, I'm no perfectionist, but I just couldn't live like that. I did use a little bit of electrical tape to cover the butt connectors, but I found these really cool covers for these, so this looks a lot better and it's a lot safer than having the bare wire. So anyway, back to the install. I'll notice too, this side has Phillips head screws, not the 7mm, so your mileage may vary on that. I don't know which one's got the original fasteners, but that's just something to be aware of if you're doing this project on your own C6Z. And that's it, job done. It's broad daylight, but you can see how incredibly bright these are. These are super, super awesome fog lights. I love the look. They give it a really aggressive appearance, and they're way better than the stock ones. So I'm going to call that one a win. What do you guys think?